Welcome to Elimu TV show, and on our today's session we want to look at the calculation of retardation factor in chromatography. I hope and I'm sure that you are going to enjoy this show, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, please you can surprise us with a subscription. So let us say that we want to calculate the retardation factor, and this is what we are going to calculate. We have retardation factor. So let us assume that you've been given this chromatography paper. This is our chromatography paper, and we want to interpret it. In some cases within chromatography paper, you'll be told to identify the upper line, and at the same time also you'll be told to identify the lower line. So the upper line is always known as the solvent front. It is known as the solvent front, and the lower line is always known as the baseline. So the solvent front, or a solvent front, is the highest distance where solvent reaches. So this is our chromatography paper, and remember that we want to focus on how we can calculate the retardation factor. Let us assume that the dye, let us assume that we have this dye which has traveled. So this dye has traveled a distance of 10 centimeters. Then the distance traveled by the solvent, let us say that is 15 centimeters. So how can we calculate the retardation factor? We have to understand that retardation factor is equal to distance traveled by the spot over the distance traveled by the solvent. Again, for you to calculate retardation factor, the formula is distance traveled by the spot over the distance traveled by the solvent. The spot here is Q, while the solvent here is R. So in a very simple way, what we are going to do, we are going to take our Q, which is 10 centimeters, we divide it by our R, which is 15 centimeters. So from that, if we do the division, we are going to have divide by 15 is equal to 0.67. This is our retardation factor. And you have to understand that whenever you're calculating your retardation factor, the range should be between 0 and 1. So if you've done your calculation, you've gotten a number which is bigger than 1, just understand that you are wrong. And at the same time also, if you've gotten the answer which is below 0, just understand that you're wrong. This is how we calculate the retardation factor, and I'm very sure that whenever you've been given this simple question, especially in high GCSE, you'll get